Hey guys, Scripture here with another video, and of course, the lead actress of the Acolyte, Amandla Stenberg, who has already made a music video going after apparently all the fans of Star Wars are bigots, and then they made a show that didn't appeal to them, and so it failed. And anyway, she made a music video and said that she had been a victim of all sorts of racisms and this and that, and now she's doing a post-mortem Acolyte failure, blame fans or blame bigots or blame whoever video. I will say this, I am not against somebody saying that they've been harmed by people saying awful things. So that's okay. Like, personally, I'm a sticks and stones guy. I don't care what you say to me, about me, whatever, I don't care. But some people, like, she's a young woman, whatever, right? It's whatever. But I have not seen a single receipt. I haven't seen a receipt from Kelly Marie Tran. I haven't seen a receipt from John Boyega, other than from Disney itself. Clear evidence, as we all know. I haven't seen a receipt from Leslie Headland or Amandla Stenberg or Kathleen Kennedy. I know everybody thinks that, like, the company didn't want her to do the video or the company didn't want her to do this video. I think, this is my theory now that this has come out because she keeps doing it and there's nobody muzzling her. I think that these actors and actresses are instructed to inflate this. Because even when I go to mainstream news articles, for example, talking about the vitriol underneath Amandla Stenberg's Instagram posts since The Acolyte was canceled, the worst comments they ever show is like, take the L, don't ever do another Star Wars show again, or something like that. It'll be like the most, like, boring comment, just like somebody saying, like, you suck, or The Acolyte's garbage, get a life, or something like that. If there was really all these racist and bigoted comments against her, why would they show some mundane complaint? Like, let's see the receipts, but there are none. And I think the company is promoting their actors and actresses to promote this farce because they want to present America as a racist country. That's what I think they are doing. And again, I'm not saying there aren't some racists in America, but the idea that it's a racist country, everybody's just racist, everybody's racist, it seems to me that that's what they're pushing. And so, because they're beyond money now, and they lose money and they don't seem to learn, but because it's just all about agenda, it seems like they're actually getting the actors and actresses to do this. So, all that to say, let's get into this. It's just, anyways, it's really cringy. Prepare for cringe fest.
I thought I would get on here and just speak candidly. I hate doing this.
I hate doing this. Ha 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 ha. You hate it so much. See, and this is what I'm saying. She doesn't hate doing it. She's putting on an act. I think someone is instructing her to do this. She just broke character, right? Like, this would be a blooper reel, right? She's trying to be all like, oh, I hate doing this. And then she broke character because she really doesn't care. She thinks it's funny. I'm telling you guys, this is a giant conspiracy. It's way worse than you think. But yeah, no, she obviously doesn't hate doing it. She thinks it's funny.
I hate doing this, but I'm gonna do it. I don't use social media very much anymore. And I'm so happy about that. But there are many folks out there that I want to acknowledge and I want to show appreciation and love and support for.
Okay, so now she's just going to basically praise people she worked with. I'm not putting that in the video, but again, she obviously has no problem doing this. She doesn't hate doing this. The idea that she doesn't use social media anymore, what's anymore, as of like 5 minutes ago? As of 5 minutes ago. And again, this is like a young person way of thinking, like, oh, I quit playing video games till 4 a.m. 2 days ago. I don't do that anymore. It's like, well, just give it some time. Just give it some time. But again, like, this is all very much an act. And again, I think she was told to do this. And I think the more you listen to it, the more obvious that becomes.
Our Star Wars show has been canceled. And I'm gonna be transparent and say that it's not a huge shock for me. Of course, I live in the bubble of my own reality, but for those who aren't aware, there has been a rampage of vitriol that we have faced.
She says she's not surprised the show's been canceled. Well, no one's surprised the show's been canceled because hardly anybody watched the show. In fact, if you take away the hate watching and the YouTubers, I mean, imagine, like, there's guys like Star Wars Theory did a live stream, like, what do you call it? Watch party. Without guys like that, this show would have done probably half. Like, literally. Like, without the hate watchers, no one was watching this show. And then when you think about who it was meant to appeal to, and you think of the percentage of people in actual society, not on the internet, that adhere to that worldview, it kind of makes sense. But this is funny because the reason she gives us to why the show failed, why she knew the show was going to fail, because of the vitriol. Show me receipts, Amandla, man. None of these people show receipts. I'm telling you, Disney told her to do this. I am convinced of it.
Since the show was even announced, when it was still just a concept, when no one had even seen it, that's when we started experiencing a rampage of, I would say, hyper-conservative bigotry and vitriol, prejudice, hatred, and hateful language towards us.
See, and this is why I think this is actually, she's being told to do this. What they're trying to do is they're trying to say that if you are on the left, you must believe in all the things that they're bringing out now, right? All the stuff in schools for kids, all of the agenda-driven stuff. Now I know that's not real. In real life, that's not real. I have buddies who are definitely left-wing. In fact, I just visited a buddy on Sunday, and he's a liberal. He's not a leftist. He's a liberal. He's kind of like a Bill Maher, right? And even Bill Maher has said that they're taking this way too far. This agenda is being pushed into oblivion. And so what she's trying to do, and this is why I think this is being done on purpose, is she is trying to say that the only people that would be against, say, teaching certain things to kids in schools are conservatives. But that's actually not the case in real life. No parent wants that. Like, the parents that want it, like, there's some parents that are just, it's school, they have to go to school, I can't deal with this, I'm too busy, blah, 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 right? And then there's the parents that don't want it, and then there's the parents that do want it, but those parents are like the tiniest minority, kind of like the minority that watch The Acolyte, right? So, again, this is why, I hate to get, like, I'm a Star Wars guy, but I'm telling you, she was told to do this. I will guarantee it. It's part of the whole division and put people on each side. And now it's like, if you don't believe that this is okay, then you're just a dirty conservative right-winger. I'm telling you guys, she was told to do this. I am convinced that she was told to do this.
And, this really affected me when I first got the job, because it's just not something, even though I anticipated it happening, it's not something you can fully understand what it feels like until it's happening to you.
Okay, now she's appealing to the, like, woe is me, I had to deal with mean comments. I'm not going to show you receipts, I'm not going to show you who said, like, here's the thing about it too that's so crazy, right? If there was actual, like, racist comments being made, right, towards her by just regular whatever accounts, right? To any of these people, in any of these movies, whether it's Marvel, whatever, anyone making these claims, if there was actually those types of tweets, why wouldn't she take a screenshot? Why wouldn't she take a screenshot, blow it up online, and then have everybody be like blocking that person's account, telling them to get rid of their account? Like, why wouldn't you expose them? Right? Like, that's my whole thing. Like, people freaked out up here in Canada because some guy put a Nazi flag on his house, right? And I was like, oh, take it down! He's a Nazi! I'm the opposite. I'm like, leave it up. Leave it up. Now everyone in the neighborhood knows who you are. You're not babysitting my kids. My kids aren't hanging out with your kids. I'm not hanging out with you. I'm not inviting you to the neighborhood barbecue. Right? Like, you want to expose those people. So when they make all these claims about, oh, this is racist, and they're making comments, expose them then. And then those accounts are essentially going to get shut down because nobody wants to see that. But they don't do that because they are making the claim that the whole country's racist and that people would support that. Right? That's why they don't. And because there aren't those comments don't exist. But if they did, that's what they would do. But let's say they did, then they can't do that, because if they do that, then they'll realize, then it'll prove the country's not racist because everyone will shoot that person down. You see what I'm saying? So it's a total psyop, and she's part of it, and she's so young. I actually, in a way, I almost feel bad for her, because I do think she is being prompted to do these things, and at her age, to be getting involved in this kind of like agitprop, I guess it's called, is pretty sad. It really is.
However, I feel like I've kind of moved through those feelings in various ways, including being vocal about it myself.
Yeah, you were vocal about it, but you're claiming that it was at the very beginning, like when they announced the show, that's when the vitriol began, but you didn't do your music video going after fans until after the 4th episode, when basically everybody said it sucked. That's pretty much what happened. After the 4th episode, everyone was like, they were done with the show. They said it sucked. They said you sucked as an actor in it. And that's when you came out with the video. Not 4 years ago when it was first announced, which you're claiming was when this all started. So again, there's no receipts. It's all a bunch of crap. It's hilarious though, like when you understand just how manipulative these people are, it's pretty crazy.
For me, it just became a situation where there was no option but for me to honor my sense of ethics and my belief system and my value system while being in this very unique position. It was kind of like I had this very unique experience of experiencing the world at large, which is, of course, hyper divisive right now.
Yeah, well, who's making it hyper divisive, Amandla? And your music, you were equating mean responses on Instagram to George Floyd and BLM and slavery in your video. And you're half Dutch. And for all intents and purposes, we have no idea if your mom's side even goes back to American slavery. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's just like honestly, like, again, and that's why I think she was told to do it. It's a psyop. I don't think she was smart enough to do that. I think she was told to do it. Her handlers wanted her to do it. They're using her to push this agenda. She's agreeing to it because she's getting roles and getting famous. I'm telling you guys, like when you really think about it, doesn't that make the most sense?
Through the lens of this very, very unique opportunity of being in Star Wars. And it brought up a lot for me, a lot socio-political dynamics, a lot about my own value system, how I respond to that kind of hatred, how I move through the world at large.
See, and this is what's sad too, because they're using her, right? Because they're the ones that made it about a social political message, right? From the beginning, right? From the very beginning, that's how they marketed it. All about diversity this, diversity that. If you don't like it, you're a bigot. Instead of just casting who they wanted to cast, whether it was diverse or not, whatever, and just shutting up about it and letting people talk about that on their own, they pushed that as their main marketing thing. So, of course, people were going to talk about it. And then they throw this girl in there and use her to propagate the idea that the country is bigoted. The whole country is bigoted, right? This is wild stuff. They're really going after the young people these days, man. They are really going after their brains. I really hope that those kids can see through the lines of this total fakery and don't get sucked into it, but you never know.
And it just became inarguable for me at a certain point that in order to continue to be myself, I would have to honor my value system by being vocal even within the context of working for Disney and working within the large massive IP that is Star Wars.
Okay, that was just a bunch of gobbledygook, whatever. I don't care. I'm probably going to skip some stuff now because now it's just rambling.
And I'm sad about us not being able to give people who are invested into it more, because they'll just feel a lot of levity and joy around the fact that I got to experience it, and that people loved it, and that people were so responsive.
So people didn't love it, though. On one hand, she's happy people were so responsive, but at the same time is saying that all the responses were bigoted. I don't know. So, like, no, it wasn't good. And again, I believe they're trotting her out here and using her to, like, do these stupid videos. And it wasn't good. And the best thing you can do is just go away. They weren't going to get any of the older actors to do this stuff. All the older actors just faded off. Like, Carrie-Anne Moss did her round of media before the show came out. After the show was over, she bounced. All of them did. The guy who played Soul, he did a couple little quotes after the show and then bounced. The person who's they can use and manipulate to push their stupid agenda and their apology tour is Amandla Stenberg, because she's 20 or whatever, 22 years old. None of the older people are going to do this stupid stuff. They're all going to walk away, man. So in that sense, again, I do think that they are using her. This is part of an agenda. And in that sense, I do sort of feel for her. But at the same time, I mean, you are grown. You know, no one's they can't physically make you do this. I mean, maybe they told her if she doesn't do it, she's not going to get more roles or something like that. I know Hollywood's pretty gross that way, so who knows? But anyway, no, the show sucked.
Targeted attack, I would say, we received by the alt-right.
Again, I think they're using her. They're trying to say that anyone who thought the show sucked is an alt-right person, which is nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing. All it takes to not like this show is liking Star Wars. Literally, that's all it takes. That's all it takes. But again, she's being used. The psyop is anybody who's a conservative is a bigot. That's what they're trying to profess. And then and it's a psyop because then they're saying to the people who are liberals who don't really like what they did either, they're saying, well, you better get in line or else we're going to call you conservative, which equals racist, which equals bigot. Right? That's essentially what they're doing. It's working on some people and it's not working on other people. I think right now a lot of people are waking up to the psyop. A lot of liberals are waking up to the psyop with the help of the Bill Maher's and some of the, people like that, like people that are just normal liberals and they're not way left. You know what I mean? So anyways, no, a lot of people that are just regular people, maybe they're in the center, maybe they're liberal. They thought the show sucked too because the show sucked, and they're using the suckness of the show and Amandla Stenberg to push a political move here with this video. It's wild stuff, guys. Like the 2024 is crazy.
But at the end of the day, I also just want to thank everybody who watched it.
Yeah, she wants to thank everybody who watched it, except for the people that didn't like it. We're bigots. Well, you're welcome, Amandla, because all of us bigots gave you at least half of your ratings, so you would have had the worst rated show ever. Like, not even just Star Wars. You might have actually had the worst original rated show on streaming services, period, if it wasn't for us bigots. So you're welcome, Amandla. You're welcome. Anytime, come back, do another one. Our bigotry will be there for you to use to get ratings for your absolutely god-awful show. Way to go. This is just so stupid, dude.
I'll continue to process this for a long time.
See how she's kind of laughing? Like, is that a nervous laugh? It looks to me like she's looking down at a piece of paper, for what to say. Telling you guys, man, this looks fishy as it gets, dude. Like, it sounds crazy, but like I said at the beginning, I think she was told to do this. And she has notes, and she had to look down for the next thing she's supposed to say. Not like written down, but just a note, and then she'll, that gives her like a prompt, right? I'm telling you, man.
But maybe the last thing I want to say on the subject is that we all exist in the context of all in which we live.
You see what I'm saying? That's not coming from her. We all exist in the context in which we live. Like, she's laughing. Like, she read the prompt. She looked down. She read the prompt. And then she had to say it, and she couldn't handle it because she knows how stupid it is. This is all fake. It's all fake. That's why there's no receipts. This is all made up. She was told to do this. I guarantee it. Because it's an election year, and they're trying to say anybody who sides with anything, even in the center, is a bigot. You're a right-wing racist. It's a fear. It's a way to make people afraid to make their own decision and to go with whatever the media and Disney and everything else says for them to do in November. That's what I think. I'm not even American. I'm on the outside looking in. And that's what it looks like to me. And she knows exactly what's going on. She's laughing. She was told to do this, guys. Like, so I'm not even going to attack Amandla. I'm going to attack her in the sense that you're a piece of crap for being part of the PSYOP. But ultimately, it's her overlords that made her or got her to do this. And I don't know if they slid a black briefcase across the table or if they just said, if you do this, you'll get more movie roles. Like I said earlier, because Hollywood's pretty gross. I'm telling you, man, you can just tell this is so obviously fake. Like, the whole thing's fake.
But I'm serious. It's not lost on me how the way that these events have unfolded.
Yeah, she's serious. And like look at how she had to she laughed and then is struggling to make a serious face while she's looking down at the notes. Cuz she knows how stupid this is. She knows how fake this is. Wow. Like, incredible.
Is also due to the hyper divisiveness of the time that we live in, that is driven, I would say at this point, by echo chambers of thought and algorithms that reinforce our biases.
Well, you know what? I can kind of agree with you on that, but you're right in it. So, I mean, the idea that you don't have biases, Amandla, or you aren't in that echo chamber, I mean, of course you are. In fact, you are probably more than anybody because you're in the Hollywood bubble, as you said earlier in this video.
And I think that applies to everybody. But I think that in a particular sect of people, it manifests as a lot of fear for what is changing and a lot of hatred for anything that is other. Okay,
so she says it's about fear about what is changing and hatred of the other, right? And like I said earlier, like it's not a political issue when you're talking about how things impact children and how things impact the next generation. That is not a... That goes beyond religion, political beliefs, everything. And the group that is really, really loud is actually a small percentage of people. Most people, I don't care if you're an atheist, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican or whatever, it doesn't matter. Most people don't want their kids exposed to things they shouldn't be exposed to until they're old enough to be exposed to them. That's ultimately what this comes down to. You know, you had that whole thing about the Acolyte ratings dropping after the scene where Buddy was naked or whatever. Because parents were like, I don't want... What? This is supposed to be Star Wars. Star Wars is supposed to be wholesome for kids. I don't want my kid watching that. And so the ratings went further down. Like, that's how the majority of people think. Especially parents. The change isn't happening in an organic sense. It's happening in a totally inorganic, pushy sense. And again, Bill Maher did a whole thing about this, talking about the amount of LGBTQ increasing in schools. And if it keeps going the way it's going by 2054, based on statistics, everyone will be gay. And he said that doesn't sound very natural and organic to me. It sounds like people are being manipulated into it. Now, you can agree or disagree with that. That's what he said. It's not just happening because it's happening. It's happening because there's people that want it to happen. And again, that's not to say anybody should be against anybody else's personal decision-making or whatever as it relates to that. I'm just saying that's what's happening.
And...
Look at her face. It's all a show. She's trying to think of how to keep going here. Keep the act going. It's all fake. All of it. I don't even think her, what she says she is even real. I think that's all part of the PSYOP. It's all part of the PSYOP. That's just what I think. I don't know. Really, Amandla, I think she's just a regular chick. But she's got to say she's this and that and the other thing to be part of the PSYOP. And again, that's how you get movie roles. You used to have to go to Harvey's house and sit and get on the casting couch, and now you have to come out with wild political views or wild views about other things to get roles. That's what it is now.
I would challenge us all and challenge myself to continue questioning what it is that I digest, and think critically about what shapes it. And
this is such a fake thing. Yeah, man, that's what you've been doing. You've been thinking critically. Anyone who doesn't like this show is a bigot. This is wild stuff, man. This is the most prepared thing I've ever seen. Look, she's looking down at the notes again. Looking down at the notes. What am I supposed to say? What do I do?
Let's vote, y'all.
Let's vote, y'all. There you go. That was the last thing on her notes. And she's laughing about it because she knows this whole video is fake and she was told to do it. Come on, guys. Do you not see that? Do you not see that? And again, I don't like to get political on this channel. I really don't. But come on, man. She's telling you to your face that this is all fake. That she was told to do this. She even has notes and everything. And she was said to get out and vote, y'all. And she thinks it's funny and corny, but she has to do it to get movie roles. Bro, it's obvious.
Let's vote. Let's vote. I think that's all I have to say.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you have to say because the notes, you finished all your bullet points. Wow, guys, I mean, it's so obvious to me what's going on and how these people are being used and this and that and whatnot. So, anyways, let me know in the comment section what you think. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Always helps the channel. And feel free to check out anything else on my channel and have yourselves a great day.